I'm Joe Zekas. I'm from YoChicago. I'm sitting here with Chuck Zekas over to my left, who you can't see, and with Arlene Mulder, who's the longtime mayor of the village of Arlington Heights. You have a terrific variety of housing here. I think in part you have great starter multi-family housing for young people who want to move here, be close to the train, commute to downtown. And then you have a fabulous variety of single-family homes ranging up well over $1 million and median price of about $400,000.
We have it all, and you can find what you need. I think we're very proud. We have a housing commission because we feel housing is important and everyone should be able to live in our community, and that makes diversity makes a stronger community because it usually you start maybe in an apartment, and then you can have a townhome, or then you can have a single-family home. And if you're fortunate that somebody is successful, you can perhaps put additions on your home. And that was, we had a tear-down issue. It was quite rampant for about 5 or 6 years, and it started with 20 or 30 homes in a year. And one year we topped out at 270 tear-downs. So we had to bring in the Design and Plan Commission and say, you know, wait a minute, we've got to put some control on this. So the Design Commission, every home had to go through so that it would fit in the neighborhood. And one of our citizens who volunteered 34 years on the Zoning Board of Appeals gave me excellent advice, and that was never to appoint someone to the zoning board that hadn't already lived here for at least 15 years. Because each neighborhood has a characteristic, and people could choose to live where there was sidewalks so their children could learn how to ride their tricycles and bicycles, and other people wanted more of a rural setting, so they went to some of the older neighborhoods that had no sidewalks, and they had more mature trees, and that was a choice, and you had a choice. We're very proud, and we've honored I mentioned earlier about the 3 great awards, first being the Daniel Burnham Award. I think we're the only community outside of Chicago to win a 2nd Burnham Award, and that's for Timber Court, one of our most recent developments that we worked with a developer who wanted us to change the zoning. For 12 years he tried to sell property or find someone to build offices, which is what it was zoned for. And housing was the hot market. He wanted housing. And, you know, you have to be careful when you make a flippant comment. Someone said, what would it take, Mayor? And I said, well, if you want to do some affordable housing, we could maybe talk. He said, yes. How do I do that? And I'd recently, BPI had sponsored a trip for a couple of us mayors to go to Boston to find out how they met their 15% of housing had to be affordable. And Illinois now has a minimum, I believe, 10%, which might be going up. And we currently, but we said we've got to make sure, and workforce housing is very important. Entry-level police and fire teachers tend to make high 30s, 40s. Well, our housing product was unattainable by them. So we used the model that they had in Massachusetts, where the building would be at market rate, but 10% of it, the units were set aside with a reduced price below market rate for your workforce person.
Is there a cap on resale to preserve that for?
They are allowed to make, I think it was 3% of the CPI above, but they couldn't. So, and that was the other wonderful thing about this model, was that typically affordable housing is only affordable to that first buyer, and then it becomes market value.
Right.
These units, out of 109, 21 are controlled by the village, and it's 3 buildings, and those units will always be below market, and it runs about $40,000–$45,000 less. And one of our prominent residents was so proud of their daughter, who was in her 2nd year of teaching. She was pleased that she, on her own financial status, was able to purchase a condo in one of these buildings. So, I mean, we're very, very proud that we want to be a truly community. and open to everyone at every price point.